Welcome back, mother lovers, to a brand new episode of Last Call at McLaren's, the best damn How I Met Your Mother podcast on the internet. I am your host, John, here with my best bud, John, and we are here for season 3.
You said you're John here with your best bud, John.
Okay, we're going to start that over then.
No, keep it. It's great.
No!
What a great way to kick off season 3, everybody.
I am your host, Josh, here with my best bud, John, and we are here for season 3. That is right. Season 3 premiere of Last Call at McLaren's. How are you, man?
Bro, I am doing great. I'm looking forward to getting down to some season 3. You know, it's been a week, so can't really say I can update a lot, but I mean, we're here.
Well, technically, it's been 2 weeks, sir. We took last week off.
Oh shit, you're correct. I mean, still not much going on. I worked a lot over the last week, which is probably why it doesn't seem like it's been that long for me. What about you though? How is shit in Orlando, Josh?
I'm here. I'm living. I finished. I don't know if I had said this to everybody else, but I was editing a book. You know, I got a job editing a book, and I finished that up, so that was pretty cool. I'll be doing another book coming up fairly soon, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of trying to keep busy and try to make a little bit of paper.
Try
to make them ducats.
You're doing reviews on things like books and stuff now, which I think is a great branch out for the stuff you do.
Well, no, I'm not really reviewing much books, but I was editing a book. Not editing a review, actually editing like a full-on, almost 600-page book.
Well, still, that's I can still segue into that. Have you read any good reviews lately?
Have I read any good reviews lately?
Like maybe a new movie had come out and someone wrote a review.
I mean, I may have read a review from this one guy that I know. You know, he's pretty cool. You know, and he's new to the review game. You know, you guys may know him. He goes by the handle of that Simply Sane J1. That's right, that guy over there.
Wrote my first movie review, and it didn't suck horribly.
It's true. It's true.
I don't know. Are you actually going to publish it? Are you going to do something?
Yeah. I have to go through and
no, it's fine. Because I'm gonna boast about it here for a second, right here on Last Call. I watched the new Monsters movie and decided that I was going to take my stab at writing a review. So I looked up what a basic review would look like, and I got all the cast and the director, and then I kind of wrote a review. And if you want to see Hangout, Josh will have it up there at some point. I'm not honestly worried about it because I'm not in his payroll or anything. But I will say this: it wasn't what I expected from the movie, but it was better than I expected.
That's fair. But yeah, keep an eye out on mercwiththemovieblog.com. And you will see his review for the Monsters up there shortly. It should be up this week. So yeah,
like I said, I really don't care. It's not like I'm like part of it. I
should always care.
I mean, I've been watching so many movies lately and documentaries and stuff like that. I've thought about writing reviews about stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
You're just being like, I watched this, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Do it up. But for right now, we are going to talk about some How I Met Your Mother. That's what we're going to talk about.
We're going to kick it off with season 3, episode 1. Wait for it.
Yes, wait for it. This episode originally aired on September 24th of 2007. 15 years ago there, John.
What were you doing in 2007? Can you remember?
Oh, man. Let's see. We were 2 years into CBW at that point, right?
Yep.
The CBW was probably done at this point because it was September.
We were probably having our last match if already had it.
Yeah. Honestly, I was probably just working, because at this point I was in between my college. This was during my time off, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. I think you were still dating Jen, though, at this point.
I think we had just broken up over the summer at this point.
So Josh might have been a single guy at this point.
Yeah. Woot.
Listen, ladies, you missed a great time with single Josh. Like, let me tell you stories about this guy. At some points. I could fucking talk your ear off about that.
It's true. I had much less facial hair at the time.
Much less facial hair. Your hair
less
wasn't
regular.
that long.
Yeah, much less regular hair at the time.
I was gonna say, man, we were both way different. I hadn't fully figured out how to grow my facial hair at that point yet, so I rocked a very separate, distinguished mustache from my beard. Yeah, and my beard was usually kept really short.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I get that.
Yeah. So let me guess, was this episode directed by P. Fry?
Absolutely. And can you guess who wrote this episode?
Carter himself.
And it's always the two of them.
Yeah. Oh, is it Carter and Craig?
Yeah, Carter Bays and Craig Thomas. Yeah, they always, whenever they do it, they always do it together.
I figured they probably kicked off the season. It had a them feel to it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. As the summary reads, Ted is in a slump after breaking up with Robin until she returns from Argentina with her new boyfriend, Gael. While Gael impresses Lily and Marshall, Ted hooks up with a wild girl who suggests he get a tattoo.
That's actually not a bad synopsis.
I know, right?
It's one of the better ones.
I was actually somewhat surprised by how well they did that one.
So before we start talking about the episode itself, what are your actual thoughts on the casting of Enrique Iglesias as Gael?
I mean, he was fine. You know, we talked a little bit before we got on air that I mean, he's a good-looking man. I don't think he's the level that Lily makes him out to be, but he's still a damn good-looking guy.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, though, she's married to Marshall. She's never seen a man of exotic.
But what I do find funny is that they had both Enrique Iglesias and Mandy Moore in the same episode.
Yeah.
You know, they were both singers and everything. Like, I just thought that was kind of interesting that they cast them both in the same episode. And one for Robin and one for Ted. You know, I don't know. I thought it was cool.
No, I 100% agree. I love the casting, especially freaking Mandy Moore, because she usually plays such wholesome, clean cut characters.
Yeah,
and this is such a hair down, tattooed. I'm like, okay, I'm in game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I thought, honestly, I thought they both gave great performances for what their characters were.
Yeah, I mean, girl definitely has such a weird presence about the way he is on screen. Like, I'm like, I get it.
He's supposed to be kind of not necessarily awkward, but like awkward to us, to the average person, just because of how incredibly like optimistic and carefree this character is.
Yeah,
it's kind of off-putting.
I mean, it is, especially like you feel bad for Robin because like there's definitely, you can definitely tell, especially the scene when she's when she's taking the shower and she thinks he went in to use the bathroom. Yeah. It's like, okay, Kyle, we get it. Like, fucking step back out in the living room, have your moment. But then it's not him anyway. Yeah. But then he brought out home all those travelers. It's like, man, I understand that.
Was that this episode? I thought that was the next episode.
Oh, no, you're right. That is the next episode.
I was going to say, because, like, he progressively gets worse throughout the two episodes.
Yeah, well, being a traveler, though, I'm going to say this in a really, I can't say it in a much nicer way without sounding too, but you'll understand what I'm saying. So maybe you can you can make it more politically correct. But as Americans, we're very crass about the way we live our lives. So when people who have like he has that very, like you said, carefree traveler lifestyle, and then he comes home with someone like Robin, who's very meticulous and scheduled, and she was falling back into her habits of everyday life, and he couldn't because he doesn't have that kind of structure.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily American, because I mean, she's Canadian, granted, she's lived here for a few years
that is
now,
true.
But I just think it's more of the, like you said, that carefree lifestyle versus the scheduled type of lifestyle. You know, the 9-to-5 job versus my career is windsurfing, making love.
Again,
sometimes both at the same time.
Not to spoil too much, because I know we haven't even started talking about the episode yet. But she clearly goes to work because she talks about how she ate the fucking whatever and it had pot in it. And while she was on air, she was like, look at this, my hand, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's from the next episode. But yes, she does do that. Yeah.
But that means she went to work and left a stranger in her house with a bunch of people.
But to her, he's not a stranger.
I guess, but she's only known him for a few weeks.
Yeah, she's in denial about like that fact. You know what I mean?
Denial, not just a river in Egypt, ladies and gentlemen.
It's true. It's true. All right, so let's get into season 3, episode 1. Wait for it. The episode starts off future Ted saying to his kids that there's more than one story of how he met their mother. They know the short version, the one with the yellow umbrella, but that there's a bigger story. It's the story of how he became who he needed to become before he could meet her. This is the first official mention of the yellow umbrella.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And I don't know about you, but to me, that opener felt like that could have been the opener to like the pilot episode. Like they could have started the show with that easy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like seeing it, I was like, it almost felt like, are they rebooting the show in this moment?
I think at this point they knew that they had something, and that they weren't going away for a while. So this is where they could really like sink their feet in and like let us tell you, the viewer.
Yeah, absolutely. So we flash over to right where season 2 left off. Barney finishing his signature catchphrase, just saying "Dairy," which I love that because that's how we left off with him saying, legend. Wait for it. Cut to black, and then we pick up right where that left off, which I thought was perfect. Barney really excited to have Ted single and back in the game. But Ted says he's not ready to jump in quite yet.
Nope.
We learned that Robin went to Argentina after the breakup, and Ted grew out his breakup beard. We get
the
bearded
breakup
Ted.
Beard.
Yeah, we get bearded Ted.
Which I gotta say though, it's a good look on him.
It is, man. It's funny because Josh Radnor rocks that beard pretty much all the time now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I thought in my head, like I was like, it's really weird because we don't ever see Ted throughout the series with a beard, really, except for this like one time. And then, it made me think about Zach Braff on Scrubs, where season 8 he grows in his beard, but it's not like a big beard; it's just kind of like a trimmed down, very 5 o'clock shadowy beard. And I was like, both men have similar facial features and stuff like that. They got like that soft baby face. And I'm like, beards really do something for both of them.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you and I have the more grizzly, lumberjacky, like lengthy beards.
The beards, yeah. But like you shave my beard off, I look like I'm 12.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I got severe baby face. If I shave this, man, I'm fucked.
Yeah, so that's why I have not shaved my beard since 2005. Since the year that this actually, it was before How I Met Your Mother started, because it was in March of 2005. Yeah.
Wow.
That was the last time I shaved. So there you go.
The fact that you can pinpoint that and be like, it was March of 2005.
I know it because I shaved it for my anniversary that year, and it was in March.
Oh my God, I remember that because I harassed you about it the whole time.
Yeah. So. And never again. Never again, sir.
Do you know the last time I went clean shaven? Very similar circumstances.
Yeah, I don't know when.
It was when I was dating Deanna. And she asked me what I would be like clean shaven. And I was like, I'll shave it. And I did. And last time. Nope.
Yeah. Never again. I'll trim it here and there, but shaven, never again. Unless you guys want to pay me a buco amount of money.
Listen, tell him the cash app. $50 and he'll shave it.
No way, man. It's gonna be way more than that. $50 from like 50 people, maybe.
Now you're being greedy, okay?
Hey, man, I told you it's got to be a lot of money for me.
That's
to
a lot of. That's like $5,000.
It's $2,500, but still.
Simple math ain't my friend.
I'm just saying, man. It's cash tag of Merc Trader 22. Send me your money. If I hit a certain level, then I'll do it.
No, you won't.
If I hit a certain level, absolutely I will.
No, you won't.
I'll hold my word. It's not like I got a job to go to. Yes, sir.
Come on, you heard him, guys. You cash out him that money. He hits a certain point. You get your friends to get some friends to pool some money together and make this motherfucker shave.
I'll even do it in the stages that Ted does it and post it on the Twitter page. I'll start off with just the bottom, where he looks like what they call him,
where he takes out like just the bottom part of the beard.
It was like the old timey. I don't remember what they called him. And then there's like Chester A. Arthur or whatever.
God damn, this is one of the few times I hate that my credit card is maxed out.
And then the mustache, the Persian nightclub owner. Yep.
Yeah, where it's really weird though, because like
to me, when he cut out this part, I was like, that looks like Lemmy from fucking Motorhead.
See, you went Lemmy. I was thinking Wolverine.
Yeah, I get that.
Or like 2006 Triple H.
Yeah, that too.
But I mean, at the same time, when he did the mustache, it came down like just past the corners of his like mouth.
Yeah, it was like, a little long.
Porn star.
Yeah, that's where I went. But Persian nightclub owner, I guess, works too. I don't know.
I mean, this show hadn't learned political correctness at this point yet.
I guess. I feel like it wouldn't have been anything different for them to like anything out of the ordinary for them to have been like porn star. Porn star.
No. But let's pick on the race factor and be like Persian nightclub owner.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a reference to something specific though.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because that's very specific.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it makes me wonder if there's like something from that time frame that kind of made that more relevant. Because like I'm like, okay, I don't know what a Persian nightclub owner would look like. So okay, I'll take your word for it in this instance. So yeah, it makes me wonder if there was something around that time that would have made it more relevant. I have no idea though.
Who knows?
That'd be something to ask Craig and Carter. But anyways, so Barney tries over and over again to get Ted to come out with him to pick up girls and whatnot. But Ted, he's consistent. He's not ready. He keeps saying, not ready. That is until Robin walks into the bar with her new boyfriend, Gael, played by none other than Enrique Iglesias.
He can be a hero, baby.
That he can. So and that's the whole opener to the episode. We get the opening credits, and then after those opening credits, we are back at the apartment. Barney and Marshall are playing video games while Ted is shaving, and this is what I was talking about. He comes up multiple times at various stages of shaving, and the gang is like throwing out some great zingers, and I love that Ted is like he's having fun with it. Like, he's agreeing with them when they do it. Like. I thought that was really, really fun. Like everybody was kind of in on the joke, including
I thought
Ted.
You were shaving your face. Well, it clearly wasn't. Same trimmers or no?
I mean, maybe. Maybe. Sometimes.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, do you have separate trimmers for your face and your balls? Yes, I don't use electric ones on my downstairs. Fair.
Yeah. I have a little pair of scissors. So, you know what I mean? So like those, but I'll be honest, they're the same ones I use for my face.
I mean, I feel
I'll
like
just wipe them down
who has two different pairs for different. I feel like they're just lying because that's money and that's time and which one's which. I'm like fuck that. I I wipe down and sanitize, but
and I use them on my face far more than I use them down there. So
yeah, well same.
I
ain't got an active sex life, so
there it is, folks. Cash App him so he can fix that. So Ted says that Robin is trying to win the breakup by bringing home this guy. Lily, she doesn't buy that. She doesn't buy that it's a competition. I'm assuming because she's never had to deal with that, obviously, because she's never had a breakup like that.
No, well, she's only dated one other person besides Marshall.
Exactly. And she was the one breaking up realistically with both. I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though Marshall kind of was like, I'm not going to do this. It was her kind of not giving way. But anyways, that really has nothing to do with any of this. But Barney and Marshall both agree with Ted because the guys got to stick together. Marshall, though, like, he wouldn't have any idea, really.
No.
I think he's just there to agree with his buddy. Barney says that, of course, it's a competition. How else do you explain what's his name? And then we flash back to the bar where everyone is purposely mispronouncing his name. Ted calls him Gael. Barney calls him Kyle. And Marshall calls him Girl, which I thought was hilarious. And then later on, Ted comes back to Gael. He says it again.
Oh, yeah.
Even after Robin, like, explains that it's Guy L.
Well, it's funny because I realized, like, that's the actual pronunciation is Gael.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's really funny because, for people who know my kid's name, like, his name is, like, people have called him Kyle. And I'm like, his name's really? Not fucking... Yeah. People who don't actually know what his name is will be like, is it Kyle? And I'm like, no, it's Kal-El. Like, his name is Kal-El. Like, so I've had similar arguments, but that's why I like making fun of Girl, because, like, I'm just like, whatever, douchebag.
Gael makes a comment about making love while windsurfing, and this boggles Barney's mind.
Yeah, Barney straight calls bullshit on this one.
Yeah, he explains that he has crafted a list, John.
33.
Every vehicle, 33 of them, that it is possible to have sex in or on. Apparently, he has done it on 31 of those vehicles. Do you remember what the two were that he has not done it on yet?
No.
What was one of them? Was the Apollo
space cruise,
space capsule. I can't remember what the other one was. But yeah, the Apollo space capsule was one that I thought was really funny because he'd have to break into the Smithsonian to do it, which I thought was great.
I mean, not like it hasn't been done before. People have broken into the Smithsonian.
But of the, he has this list of only 33 things, right? And one of them is the specifically Apollo space capsule. I'm just like, okay. Sure.
I mean, so here's the question, though. If he actually got in there, like, I mean, obviously, like, it's not out of the realms of possibility that someone like Barney Stinson with his little tricks and stuff that he pulls, couldn't pull something like that off.
Yeah.
But if he did, why not do something like, at some point, he convinced somebody he was Neil Armstrong.
He did.
Like, so, I don't know. I'm just like...
I feel like it wouldn't be that difficult for Barney to, like, pay off a security guard or whatever to just let him in. Right. You know what I mean?
He's seems probably like got the money that could do a payoff.
He's got a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. Come on.
Dude, he's always got that guy.
He's always got that guy. So, like, it's not out of the realms of possibility, I think.
he's got to say the famous line, though, while he's banging somebody. This is one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely would, too. So Ted finishes shaving, and he and Barney are getting ready to leave. And then it's revealed that Lily and Marshall are having a double date with Robin and Gael. Lily thinks that Gael is really hot. Yeah. Marshall, this one, I thought this was hilarious. Marshall called him Male Gael.
Yeah, Male Gael.
I don't know why that one made me laugh so much, but it was pretty funny. Like, he could have just called him Gael, but no, it was Male Gael.
I mean, I don't think it's funny, though, if you call him...
Just call him Gael?
Just call him Gael.
Yeah,
they got to keep specifying that, that's,
And I mean, Gael was already said a couple of times, so it's not as funny after the first time. But making it male Gael, it gave it that little extra something for me. I don't know. Yeah. So Barney and Ted head down to the bar. Barney starts giving Ted a little pep talk, but as he's talking, Barney turns and sees that Ted is making out with a hottie named Amy, played by Mandy Moore. And Ted is totally ignoring Barney, and it's obviously annoying him quite a bit. Barney can't stand the idea that he didn't help Ted get this girl. He just can't handle it.
So I say I don't have any problems with that because I understand why Barney would be kind of upset. Like, that was his whole point, to take him out and help him.
But I mean, like, he took him out, he got him to go out. Yeah, and it's happening. So like, he should be happy for his friend.
That's not where I was going with this. Is Mandy Moore's character a stretch for someone like Ted Mosby?
I think normally maybe. However, as we learn later on, she had just broken up with her boyfriend. And he's in a place now where I think he's exuding more confidence because he's trying to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not being the typical kind of like pretentious Ted. He's not being the mozzarella kind of Ted. You know what I mean? The encyclopedia. He's not being that Ted.
No.
And I think that works in his advantage.
Yeah, this is the overcorrection Ted. This is I had the really good girl. Now I'm going for like a little edgy and harder. And
yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen Mandy Moore in a lot of things, like Saved and This Is Us. She's been in like this and that. This is probably
that movie where she dies. Spoiler alert, I guess.
Remember?
Yeah, I mean, that movie is so old that too bad. Sorry, guys.
There's somebody who was like, "Fuck, I was watching that this weekend."
It's in my DVD player right now, ready to go. Why would you do this to
me? But yeah, so it's like, she's a really beautiful looking woman. Mm-hmm. But this is definitely one of the few times where I can say, like, I'd have fucked her right there in the bar because, like, she was fucking hot.
Dude, yeah, no, I mean, Mandy Moore is absolutely. And it's funny because you mentioned Scrubs earlier, and she was on that.
Oh, too, yeah. I know. And I thought about that. That's
funny.
That's so funny. Look at the size of that pancake.
But again, a completely different character from what she plays here.
Yeah, because in that she's like very klutzy and very like, I don't want to say dim-witted because her character's not dumb, but
she's klutzy. And she's more of a good girl. It's more like the kinds of characters that she normally plays.
Well,
just a little bit more klutzy.
Before we started recording, was that Mandy Moore usually plays like really good girl roles. Mm-hmm. So seeing her in this position was like, okay, let your hair down, girl. Get yourself some fucking.
Yeah, man.
Because I mean, think about it. A Walk to Remember, she plays a good girl and I'm pretty sure there's like the religious undertone in that movie. Saved, she plays the Christian girl with like the bitch side. Yeah. And then
I've never seen This Is Us, so
I've never seen This Is Us either, but I know of the show, and she's a really good person in that. Like, she plays the mom.
Okay.
She's married to.
Milo Ventimiglia, right?
Yeah, he dies, so she single-handedly helps.
Spoilers, John.
God damn! I was watching that this weekend.
Luckily, I'll probably never watch that. Sorry, guys.
I mean, I've never watched it either. I know Sherry and Lizzie have both watched it. My mom watched it.
Yeah. I watch a show called A Million Little Things. That's I'm gonna sob during a freaking television show.
Listen, my sob during a television show is 911 like currently.
Yeah.
So not to get off the How I Met Your Mother thing, but it's a fire procedure. For people who don't know, I used to be a firefighter like way, way, way back before 2005. So this show hits like really close to home. Watch it. it gets me really emotional. If you haven't watched it, check it out. Great show.
There you go.
Back to How I Met Your Mother.
Yes. So back at the apartment, things are weird, John. Weird. Marshall is not happy about, Gael and this whole.
Why is he not happy, Josh?
He's not happy because, they're Ted's friend. He can't like this guy. And Lily is being real awkward.
Listen,
she's being.
I love though that he throws Lily under the bus. I'm pretty sure my wife has a crush on you. Oh my! Or no, he's like, my wife thinks you're hot. And she's like, yeah, no, I don't. Oh my god!
Oh my god! Yeah, that was hilarious. And then Gael starts giving Robin a massage. Kind of. Yeah. I mean, we know that he's a masseuse. And it's just kind of out of nowhere. And Marshall, I think pretty sure it's during this part. He starts like grilling him about the massage stuff. Yeah, and it's funny. He's like, yeah, are you licensed with a governing body? He's like, oh yeah. And he's like, is your card? Do you have a card? Yeah. Is it laminated? What do you mean? Covered in protective plastic. Oh yeah, it's like he had no idea what laminated.
I love how he turns to Lily though, and he's like, he checks out.
Yeah, he checks out. And this is where he starts to soften toward him a little bit at that point.
Oh yeah, I mean it gets worse though throughout the night.
It does, because Marshall is then in the kitchen preparing some food, and he's like talking trash about.
I fucking love it. And I didn't wash my hands.
And I didn't wash my hands, Mr. Gael, or whatever he says. And then when he goes back into the living room, Lily is now being massaged.
Oh yeah.
And so then he takes Lily into the kitchen, and he's like, we're supposed to be on Ted's side. And Lily claims that she's like trying to butter him up and stuff so that she can take him down. Take him right down. She
wants to take him down.
Probably. Oh yeah, I'm sure. So then we go back over to the bar. Barney is chatting up some new girl who has shown up. We learn eventually that it's Amy's friend.
Amy's friend.
Yeah. And while Ted, he's still there, he's making out with Amy. And she steals a bottle of booze, and then they take off and head over to what she claims is her place, where she has a hot tub.
A hot tub.
Only it's not her place, John.
No.
As it's revealed to be the home of the people that she used to babysit for, and we find this out because the kid shows up and catches them.
I like how he's like, Ma, she's back.
She's back. And like that whole scene, like you talk about, like again, Mandy Moore plays this good girl character, but then we get this whole scene where it's like they're really leaning into the like sexuality of her character.
Oh yeah.
Like hardcore.
Well,
I love your tats. Oh yeah, thanks. You can play with them. They're totally real.
Yeah. No, your tats. Like Ted's so fucking dumb sometimes.
Yeah.
I love how her friend is like with Barney. She's like, you can do whatever you want with me. And Barney's like, and then he's like, Ted, and I'm like, come on.
Dude, come on. Like he almost blows it so many times, but she is so incredible. Yeah, maybe that too. But she is so incredibly like ready to go.
Oh yeah.
That it doesn't seem to matter how many times he almost messes it up.
You said he blows it.
I mean, almost. I'm sure
later on. In a hot tub, you can't get pregnant in a hot tub.
That's what they say. That's what they say. And so they get caught and they take off.
Oh yeah, they fucking run.
Yeah. But before that, actually, I forgot to mention this. Before that, while they're in the hot tub, Amy brings up the idea of Ted getting a tattoo.
Yes.
And Ted is just drunk enough and just vulnerable enough to think this is a good idea. But
I mean, it's one of those 5-word scenarios. I should get a tattoo.
Oh, there's a 5-word scenario later that I'll bring up. I wrote it down. I don't know if you caught it, but I'll bring it up here in a momentarily. But so they take off, and they end up out on the street, and Ted, he stops and he's just kind of like staring off, and that's when he decides he's gonna get a tattoo.
Fuck yeah!
And so him and Amy hop in a cab. Barney is left there with this other girl, and she's like, "Do you want to have sex?" And he's like, "Okay," and then they take off, and that's where like we don't see them again for the night.
Nope, we don't see her again ever.
Yeah, we don't see her again ever.
We don't see her again ever because never mind.
And then we go over to the tattoo shop. Ted is describing the tattoo that he wants. He says, he's pointing to his arm. He says he wants it to say "I win," and it should have some flames coming off of it. Which, I mean, not the worst tattoo I've ever heard of, but it's not great. I'll say that.
Out of all TV show tattoos I've ever seen someone like get character-wise, worst one I've ever seen, Nard Dog. It was great illustration. I love the Nard Dog tattoo, but like, it's just not especially because it's on his ass.
Yeah,
like at least Ted's gonna like theoretically get one on his arm, and like it's gonna have some flames.
Yeah, well, the problem with Andy's was, it
was a bet.
It was essentially a bet, yeah. but at least it was something that was like that meant something to him.
That is true.
Because they were gonna do something weird originally.
Yeah,
like they kept saying that,
and they never show you the original idea.
No, they don't. Yeah, they never do. We do see the actual Nard Dog though, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, Ted's describing this tattoo, and when he says, it should have some flames coming off of it, and this is where we get what I wrote down. I said, Amy then says the 5 words every crazy drunk person probably says: "We should start a fire." Yeah, she does. We should start a fire.
I've ever said that being drunk, though, sir.
I said crazy drunk person.
Oh, man. Fair.
I never said you were crazy. I mean,
so listen, you ever gotten an impulse tattoo that you like never really put some thought into?
An impulse tattoo? No.
No.
Mine have always been, I've never gotten one drunk or anything like that.
No, but I wasn't sure if like maybe you ever had an appointment though, but weren't sure until like that day when you walked in what you were getting.
No, I've always known exactly the things that I wanted to have done. Yeah. What about you? You have a lot more than I do.
So. I do. My impulse one, without showing too much, is it's my son's birthday. Not that you can really see it right now. Maybe if I block little.
No, you can't.
It's like really watching out. Hold on, we'll do it this way. See if this helps. Nope. You can kind of see it up there. Yeah, I got my son's birthday on my chest. It was a last minute decision where I was just kind of like, like I'll get my son.
But it's not just like typical birthday. It's all done in Roman numeral.
Barbed wire Roman numerals at that.
Yeah,
like they're all barbed out and everything. So
it's a lot. It's much more unique than just a date. I like it. I think it's cool. Somebody's got to like it, right?
I mean, I'm glad somebody besides me and him like it. So
yeah. So then Ted says, "This is going to be legend. Wait for it," and then blacks out.
Yep.
And wakes up the next morning alone in his bed. Yeah.
He's like, oh, thank God.
This is now the second time that he's gotten really drunk and then passed out and woken up in his bed.
Yep. But at least this time he didn't wake up with some random chick or a pineapple.
That's true. Which, speaking of next episode, we see that, I think it's the next episode or is it the one after that, we see within the next 2 episodes, we see that girl again.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is cool. Anyways, he walks out into the... so he gets up, and he's looking over his body real, like, panicky. He's like, but he doesn't see anything. He's like, oh, man, good. He gets up, heads toward the door, and the audience gets to see that he has gotten a pink and blue butterfly tattoo on his lower back.
Listen, I'm just going to say for a one-sitting tattoo, though, that tattoo artist did an amazing banging job.
I agree. And John, what color do you get when you mix red and pink and blue?
Purple.
Exactly. Bad choices there, Ted. Bad choices. Purple all the way. They have to be subtle about it. You can't just be a purple butterfly.
I mean, you know
it's got to be more subtle.
First off, fuck you, purple butterfly.
I mean, wink, wink. So he walks out into the living room then, and Marshall and Lily are there. And he tells him about his night and everything. He proclaims, he's like, I am winning this breakup.
Yep.
And then he heads over to the bathroom. He doesn't have a shirt on. He heads over to the bathroom, and they see the tattoo.
Lily sees it first.
Yeah, and they're like freaking out, and they decide they're gonna call Barney.
Which I love how Barney comes in and he's like, I am pissed at Ted.
Yeah, he's like,
I will never forgive him ever.
I will never talk to him again.
Lily's like, not even if butterflies fly out of his butt.
Yep. He's like, what do you mean? Yeah. So then Marshall asks Ted, because Ted's in the kitchen, he asks him to grab the fondue pot on the top shelf. And as he does, it lifts up the shirt that he now has on, letting Barney see the tattoo, causing him to almost faint with joy.
Yeah. I love that he faints. So he's like, oh, and then Marshall's like, and we're up.
Yeah, and we're up. Yeah, it hit him hard, man. I mean, that's something big for him to make fun of Ted about.
Oh yeah, dude, it's huge.
Yeah, and so Ted is kind of gloating about being able to do this all on his own, not needing Barney's help and all this stuff. And after Barney makes a few fun butterfly references about him, going into his cocoon and bursting out into the world. He's like, and what is it that does that? And Ted says the word, he says butterfly, and they all crack up laughing.
And Barney smacks him in it.
Oh, man, right on the back of a fresh tattoo. Obviously, if anybody out there has had a tattoo, been smacked on that tattoo, you know what it feels like, and it's not pleasant.
No.
And he runs off to see what it is and freaks out when he sees the tattoo. Then we flash back because he finally gets his memory back. In this moment, all the memories start flooding back from that night. We flash back to the tattoo shop, and we learn that Amy had just broke up with her boyfriend, and that boyfriend is the very tattoo artist that is about to tattoo him. His name is Steve, also, by the way, for those who want to know. And obviously, he did not get an arm tattoo that said "I win" with flames on it.
Would have been funny if the butterfly had still said "I win."
That would have been really funny. So then we go back to the apartment. Ted is freaking out. But then he kind of stops, and because he finds some Spanish massage oil, and he's like, "What happened here last night?" And things got weird. And we kind of flash to that night. We see Gael singing a song, playing the guitar, singing a song, and they're all entranced, especially Marshall, who's cuddling a pillow and ogling him with his eyes. And it's funny because that shot of Marshall has become a pretty popular GIF.
Has it?
Oh yeah, I use it all the time. When it's something that you're fawning over, you put on the Marshall GIF. I've seen that people use that a lot. So when it happened, I was like, it's that shot. But Marshall is he no longer hates this guy.
No,
he's
doesn't hate him at all.
No, he's as in love with him as friggin' Lily, maybe even more. Then we see Marshall getting a massage. So now everybody there, Robin, Lily, and now Marshall, have all had massages from him. And he gets a bit emotional during it. And then Gael is feeding Robin's and trying to feed Lily some mango. But Marshall eats it out of his hand. And it kind of weirds Gael out. And I'm just like...
I love how Marshall's like, eh.
Yeah. He just kind of sneaks in there and gets it. And he's like, okay, I think we're done here. So Ted heads over to Robin's place and proceeds to dish out some irrational yelling Have you ever done this, John? Have you ever had to just
God,
like
yeah.
irrational yelling that isn't even angry?
Yep. I would love to say that it's not ever happened for me, but I know for a fact it has.
Yeah.
I'm an irrational yeller sometimes.
I've done that too.
I'm pretty sure you've been on the end of my irrational yelling.
Yeah, probably. It's just funnier when it's like it's almost like nice stuff that's being said at one point, and it's just being yelled at, and so it makes it way more funny to hear. So they talk. She apologizes, and she sets Ted's mind at ease by telling him that he's bigger.
He's bigger.
Nah, man, he's definitely taller than I am. No,
Ted.
You're bigger. And then we flash to the bar. Ted proclaims, "I win!"
Clinks some glasses.
Yeah.
Fade to black.
But then we come back for we get a little scene where it's outside the bar, rainy sidewalk, sea of people, black umbrellas, and one yellow umbrella goes
which I loved that imagery.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic. You know, she's there. She's always been there. Just it wasn't the right time yet.
It wasn't the right time.
And then to end the episode, we get a little epilogue, which I love this. We see Barney, he's in his office, and the phone rings. He picks it up, and it's Marshall. And Marshall's like sitting in the fucking in the apartment, and it's like dark. He's got like the lights off and shit. And he tells him to check his email. He sent him a new website called slapcountdown.com, and it's counting down 56 days from that point. Marshall hangs up and prepares his hand as Barney freaks out. And that's right. That's how the episode ends. 56 days away from Slapsgiving. I can't wait till we get to talk about that one. But that was the overall episode there. I have some stuff that I want to kind of talk about before we get into the blog. But what are your overall thoughts on the episode?
I like this episode. It's a great kickoff for the season.
Agreed.
It's not like it's a tremendously like oh my god episode, but it's a good way to start the season. Character development. We're getting a little bit more about the Robin. We're getting a little bit more of Ted. Marshall and Lily are going through some of the stuff of being, new husband and wife.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good episode overall.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. However, this is actually a very important episode.
Really?
And I'm going to tell you why. But before I do, I know that, we talk spoilers a lot, but I'm about to talk like mega spoilers throughout this whole show. So if you really don't want that much spoiler, then jump ahead a couple minutes into the blog. So I'm just warning you guys right now. Okay. So in this episode, Ted gets the butterfly tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
That leads him to Stella.
Yes.
To get it removed. Okay. Him and Stella obviously get together, almost get married, but she leaves him for Tony.
Okay.
Tony, feeling guilty about taking her away from him, gets Ted the job at the university.
Introducing him to...
While at the university, he winds up meeting and hooking up with Cindy.
Yeah.
Later on, him and Cindy reconnect, and she gives him the info for her former roommate's band.
The bass player.
In order to have a band at Robin and Barney's wedding. And that band is where Tracy comes into play, and that's how he meets her.
So had he never had this like backslide and went and got a tattoo,
mm-hmm.
he probably would have never had any of that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have. Yeah, because he never would have went. He never would have met Stella because he never would have had to go there to get a tattoo removed. He never would have then been left at the altar. He never would have gotten that job. Never, which means he wouldn't have met Cindy, which means she wouldn't have been able to recommend this band.
That's
never would have
crazy.
happened. And then it got me thinking, it's more than just this tattoo. The whole linchpin to Ted meeting Tracy is Robin. They meet Robin, they date, they break up, this all happens.
Oh shit, yeah.
If that didn't happen, if Robin had never walked into that bar, he would have theoretically never met Tracy.
No, but you know who he still would have met, though?
Yeah. There's one Victoria. Person he would have met Victoria and probably married her. Because they end up back together later on down the line.
Yeah, twice.
The only reason that they don't stay together is because of Robin. Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right?
And then in the end, he ends up with Robin anyway.
I mean, the story is about her. Yes. We wanted to know who the mother was. And yes, I know that people feel like they were shortchanged in the end by not getting to spend enough time with her. But really, the story isn't actually about her. It's about Ted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes, it's called How I Met Your Mother, but it's How I Met Your Mother. It's about Ted and his journey through life and where he needs to go next.
That is fucking deep.
Yeah, man.
You need to find a way to sum that up into a Twitter rant and send that to Carter and Craig.
I'll have to because figure out how to put that into. It might have to be a thread because I don't know if I can do that.
I mean, that's fine, but that right there, though, knowing that everything boils down in simplistic form to Robin, is fucking nuts. Because even without her introduction, he still would have went to Stuart's and Claudia's wedding. He still would have met Victoria, but it would have played out differently. Because
though it does make me wonder, would he have actually refound her? Because it's Robin who tells them that she's the baker.
Yeah, I mean, he still would have found her, though, because Claudia and Stuart were in the process of telling him. And, well, I mean, Stuart and Claudia tell him where to go.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, because remember, they're on the phone with him, and Robin's telling Lily she knew who.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, he still would have then met and found. And again,
oh, my God, man. You're literally changing the entire way I'm watching How I Met Your Mother right now.
If you take Robin out, if she never walks into that bar in the first episode, she never shows up there, he would most likely have gone on and probably stayed with Victoria. And crazy. I actually, part of me wonders, because he was conflicted. He was. His feelings for Robin, I think, are part of what kept him from going all in with Victoria.
Oh, 100%.
It makes me wonder, would he have gone to Germany with her?
I could see that.
Yeah. I think they would have wound up together in the end. Yeah. It's wild, right?
That is so wild.
Yeah. It's just that meeting this one person set him on a track. And the way they play it throughout this whole show, it's so subtle until you look at it from beginning to end, like I just laid out. And it's like, holy shit. I don't know if they planned that on purpose or what, but the way it worked out is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's wild stuff, man.
Wow.
But yeah, that is season 3, episode 1. Wait for it. Now it is time for one of my favorite parts of the show. I'm sure it's the favorite part of some other people as well. But we are here for Barney's blog.
Suit up, bitches.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. So this edition of Barney's blog is titled Tattoozled. Yeah, Tattoozled. And it was written on Monday, September 24th of 2007. So that is the same night as the episode. Usually, it's written on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I was going to say, usually it's the follow-up.
Yeah. But so, like, this is like, it must be like that night. So it says, attention blogosphere. Recently, my best friend Ted violated the parachute clause of the Wingman Code. Normally, an infraction of this magnitude results in one or more of the accepted punishments. And he has a little list of things. It says the guillotine, spelled like, like guillotine, but with the word tie at the end. Death by bunda, which I don't know what that means. Wingman wings revoked. Garnishing of wages. Waterboarding and banishment.
Oh, damn.
And then he has a little asterisk here. It says, installments of the Wingman Code Stinson's edition to be furnished later. And then it says, instead, Fortuna levied her own decidedly more permanent penalty. And then he puts up this picture of the butterfly tattoo. So, yeah, for those of you listening on the podcast, it's just... He posted just a picture of the Ted's back with the tattoo.
Which in that image looks purple.
It does. It 100% looks purple. And so, but then there's a little caption underneath it. It says, Ted's tattoo, courtesy of karma. Which I thought was funny.
Who strips down at the lusty leopard?
Then it goes on, it says, as a man who fuels his lamp of learning with the oils of others' misfortune, let me expound the following maxim. Dudes shouldn't get tattoos. I disagree with you, Barney. I'm sorry. But Barney, what about the millions of biker guys way bigger waist up than you? Yeah, and I love that he specifies waist up, by the way. Good question, fictional reader. I'm not doubting the superhuman ability required to endure the physical pain, tawdry artwork, and accessorizing nightmares that dude tattoos require. I'm simply wondering if guys understand what their tattoos really mean. Therefore, I'm including a selection from my forthcoming coffee table book, Barney Stinson's Field Guide to Tattoos. I wish this was made, by the way. I think it would be hilarious. My noble hope with this volume is to show today's gentlemen that there are safer, smarter, and sexier ways to exfoliate. And then he gives some examples here. Okay, so the first one. Okay, and I'm gonna say this right now. I don't have any of these tattoos. I almost got 2 of them, but I haven't. You technically have one of them.
Oh shit.
We'll start there. Okay, so names. Says, hey, everybody, look at me. Not only have I made the foolish mistake of choosing a lifetime of monogamy, I have also permanently branded myself as off limits. Bravo. Yeah, I would never get like a significant other's name tattooed on me. I wouldn't. I think I've seen a lot of people do it. The only name I would ever get is like my child's name. That's it.
I don't even have that.
No, but that's as far as I would ever go for a name. Just yeah. Tribal bands. I almost got a tribal band.
I remember when you almost got the tribal.
Mm-hmm. Hey everybody, look at me. This band looks like a scar of manhood that I earned when my village banished me to the hinterlands for 7 days with no food or water, like in that Kevin Bacon basketball movie. Nice try. That's a bracelet. This next one, I definitely had big plans to get. Dragons.
Oh, shit. I was going to get a dragon for a while as well.
Yeah. It says, hey, everybody, look at me. I have a fearful dragon on my arm. Are you scared? Good, because this baby is supposed to ward off intruders from my mom's basement. Chinese symbols. Definitely would never do these either.
I have Kryptonian symbols. Does that count?
Yeah, but you knew exactly what like these
that
were.
Is true.
Most Chinese symbols, like most of those tattoos, it could literally mean anything.
Oh yeah.
Really, most people don't actually do enough research. They look at it and they're like, "Oh, okay, I trust that this means what it says it means on the wall of this
I
tattoo
have
shop."
a tattoos story about that.
All right, let's hear it.
So really quickly, the long story is that this girl came in when I was doing shop bitch work for Kat. She wanted to get Chinese tattoo, and Mike was like, "Oh, you double checked on everything, right? Like it looks right." She's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." She came back in a week and a half later. She wanted to cover it already, and Mike was like, "What's wrong?" She goes, "Oh, I had went to a Chinese restaurant with one of my friends." She's like, and it was done right down her forearm, and it was supposed to say something like "love, prosperity, and peace," and it literally translated to "beef lo mein." Like she took it off of a fucking menu and didn't know what it meant.
Oh my god!
So like everybody was laughing at her when she asked why. The guy goes, "It's your tattoo," and she goes, "It's love, prosperity, and peace." And the guy's like, "No, it says beef lo mein." And when she came back in and explained why she wanted the cover up, I'm sitting at the fucking counter laughing my ass off. And then I'm like, it does make me hungry though for some Chinese food.
Oh man. See, and that right there. Like I feel like I wouldn't say that it'd be dumb enough to let that happen, but you never know.
Yeah, exactly.
I would never want to risk it.
That's one of those things that comes down to if you're going to do something like Chinese symbols, quotes, if you're going to do any kind of lettering, wording, always double check what it is. Double check your stencil. Double check the spelling.
Oh, spelling's a big one, man.
Poor Sherry, her tree of words, Everday, because when Mike was doing it, the Y rubbed off of the stencil accidentally, and it got accidentally tattooed. She's permanently tattooed to have Everday instead of Everyday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Shit. All right, continue. Next one.
Well, I got to finish the Chinese.
Oh, sorry.
So it says, "Hey, everybody, look at me. I'm governed by an Eastern philosophy of these significant Cantonese and or Mandarin characters chiseled into my flesh, hopefully intricate. If I spoke or read this particular language, perhaps I could explain my perspective more clearly. But I guess you'll just have to take the scary-looking tattoo artist's word for it. I sure did." And then the last one, which John has, though nobody actually really knows about it. Most people don't. Letters on knuckles. But again, most people don't actually even know that they're there.
It's blacklighting, ladies and gentlemen. It's a wondrous thing.
It really is. So it says, "Hey, everybody, look at me. There's an important message on my fingers. Of course, it has to be 10 letters or less, and you can only read it when I'm water skiing or getting arrested. But still, it's an important message."
Listen, though, because he's wrong in that aspect. It doesn't have to be 10 letters or less. Because first off, you really can't get your thumbs into those, so it's got to be 8 letters or less.
Yeah. And theoretically, if the letters are small enough, you could double up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, mine's prime example. Do you remember what mine says?
Yeah, it says Dilligaf.
Yep. Dilligaf. Does it look like I give a fuck?
Yeah. And but yeah, and you can't see it, so it makes it easier for you to go to work and not have to deal with it, and it's there for you. It was done for you.
It's a me tattoo. Yep.
Yeah. And then there's one little last. It's in the notes and trivia section of this, which most of the time it's not all that interesting, so I don't really read it. But this one says Barney's theories on tattoos are also discussed in the Bro Code, which uses much of the same content in this post.
Fair.
I thought that was kind of interesting. I've always wanted to get a copy of the Bro Code book.
Now available, ladies and gentlemen, at Spencer's.
Is it?
Yeah, actually it is.
Nice. But yeah, folks, that is this week's edition of Barney's blog. And with it, that is this episode of Last Call at McLaren's. So, John, unless you got something else for him, why don't you let everybody know where they can find you?
Ladies and gentlemen, hop on over to Twitter. You can find me at Simply Sane J1. I got a couple of new podcast or blog episodes put it up. I'm doing a little bit more with my Twitter lately. I've been liking some stuff, retweeting some stuff. Recently got a retweet from it wasn't a retweet. It was a liked tweet from Raven and Diamond Dallas Page. I thought that was actually pretty badass. So I'm kind of trying to make myself known out there. If you want, in a couple weeks, Josh should have my movie review posted for the Munsters. Feel free to check that out. Let me know what you think of my review. If there's anything you want to see me review, hop on over to Simply Saying J1. You tell me what to review. I'll watch it. I'll give it a review. But listen, Josh can be the first one to tell you I'm very critical on movies and shit, because usually my review is, it's okay.
Yeah.
What about you, Slice? Where do they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR. And of course, right here on Merc with Movie Blog at Movie Blog Merc. If you are watching this on YouTube, you are watching on the Merc with Movie Blog YouTube channel. Be sure to hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, click that little bell wherever it happens to be. If you are listening on the podcast networks, whether it be Anchor or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, be sure to give us a follow over there. Subscribe to those channels as well.
Oh, yeah.
And, leave us, if you're on Anchor, you can leave us a voice message, and we would love to hear from you guys. We'll play it on air and kind of discuss whatever you happen to say. And if you're on the other two, because I don't know if the other, I know that Apple and Spotify do this. I don't know about other platforms, but you can leave a 5-star review and write a little message. And then it lets me know. And then we can read that out loud on air as well. So if you ever want to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on Twitter at LAST CALL HIMYM. It's LAST CALL HIMYM on Twitter. We also have an Instagram under the same
I was going
to
say all our platforms, Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon, Anchor. We don't have a Facebook. I just post everything on the Merc with Movie Blog Facebook page, to be honest. So I don't have time to be having a billion Facebook pages. Sorry, guys. But Twitter us up. You know where we are. But I think that's all I got for him, man. So what do you got for him?
If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. You don't have to go home, but you can't listen here.
Catch you guys next time.